If you're trying to get someone to make a decision, don't convince them through data alone. What you're doing is engaging them in change management. When you're leading change, you're asking people to shift how they think, behave, or decide. That creates uncertainty, resistance, even fear. And most people don't change because the data makes sense. They change because they feel that the change is right, safe, or aligned with something that they care about. Getting people on side means building that trust, creating emotional buy-in, and helping them see that you're with them, not just pushing an agenda. It's about shared ownership, not just compliance. Because when people feel the change is theirs, not something being done to them, they commit. They act, and that's when real decisions stick. But here's the problem. Most managers still lead with just the facts. They assume the numbers will carry the day, and they won't. A group of science communication experts writing in the Proceedings of the National Academies of Science found that this approach, dumping facts and hoping the truth prevails, just doesn't work. One stat says it all. Across 819 social media experiments to increase COVID vaccination rates, the classic follow the data approach shifted attitudes by, wait for it, 1%. Why? Because people weren't asking, is the science accurate? They were asking, what does this mean for me, for my identity, for my future? This is where science is catching up to what great leaders already know. Decisions aren't just logical, they're emotional, they're personal. Facts are fragile on their own. They can be misinterpreted or ignored. But if you build a story around the facts, something that speaks to people's values and fears and hopes, then you move them. That's what researchers are calling a collaboration model, a way of communicating that respects people's lived experience and invites them into the conversation rather than just lecturing from above. An executive I was working with was preparing a pitch for the senior leadership team. He was asking for budget approval to roll out a system upgrade. He showed me the data, productivity gains that were, in his words, clear as day. But when we looked at the senior leadership team's KPIs, which were cutting costs, increasing brand awareness, and building customer trust, we saw the need to reposition the pitch. Together, we workshopped a case study focused on one specific team. It showed not only how the upgrade would improve productivity, but how it would free up time for the team to focus on high-impact projects that directly built brand awareness and trust. In short, purposeful work with measurable impact. The budget, usually a tough sell in this organization, was approved immediately. So if you're leading change, don't just present the data. Build the narrative. Anchor your recommendation in what matters to your audience. Connect the dots. What this means for them, why it aligns with their values, how it helps them get to where they want to go. Data shows the what, story explains the why, and people move on the why.